Story. A fox once saw a crow fly off with a piece of cheese in its beak and settle on a branch of a tree. "That's for me, as I am a fox," whispered the fox. He walked to the foot of the tree. "Good day, Mistress Crow," he cried. "How well you are looking today. How glossy your feathers, how bright your eye. I feel sure your voice might surpass that of other birds, just as your figure does. Let me hear but one song from you, that I may greet you as Queen of the Birds." The crow lifted up her head and began to call her best. But the moment she opened her mouth, the piece of cheese fell to the ground, only to be snapped up by Master Fox. "That will do," said he. "That was all I wanted. In exchange for your cheese, I will give you a piece of advice for the future. Do not trust flatterers." Story. It happened that a dog had got a piece of meat and was carrying it home in his mouth to eat it in peace. Now on his way home, he had to cross a plank lying across a running brook. As he crossed, he looked down and saw his own shadow reflected in the water beneath. Thinking it was another dog with another piece of meat, he made up his mind to have that also. So he made a snap at the shadow in the water, but as he opened his mouth, the piece of meat fell out, dropped into the water, and was seen no more. Story. At one time, the fox and the stork were very good friends. So the fox invited the stork to dinner, and for a joke put nothing before her but some soup in a very shallow dish. This the fox could easily eat, but the stork could only wet the end of a long bill in it, and left the meal as hungry as when she began. "I'm sorry," said the fox, "the soup is not to your liking." "Do not apologize," said the stork. "I hope you will return this visit and come and dine with me soon." So a day was appointed when the fox could visit the stork. When they were seated at table, all that was set for dinner was contained in a very long neck jar with narrow mouths, in which the fox could not insert his snout. So all he could manage to do was lick the outside of the jar. "I will not apologize for this dinner," said the stork at the end of the dinner. "One bad turn deserves another." Story. A great conflict was about to come off between the birds and the beasts. When the two armies were collected together, the bats hesitated to join. The birds that passed his perch said, "Come with us," but he said, "I am a beast." Later on, some beasts who were passing underneath him looked up and said, "Come with us," but he said, "I am a bird." Luckily, at the moment, peace was made and no battle took place, so that the bat came to the birds and wished to join in the rejoicings. But they all turned against him and he had to fly away. He then went to the beast, but soon had to beat a retreat, or else they would have torn him to pieces. "Ah," said the bat, "I see now. He that is neither one thing nor the other has no friends." Story. The hares were so persecuted by the other animals, they did not know where to go. As soon as they saw a single animal approach them, off they used to run. One day, they saw a troop of wild horses stampeding about, and in quiet panic, all the hares scuttled off to a lake nearby, determined to drown themselves rather than live in such a continual state of fear. But just as they got near the bank of the lake, a troop of frogs, frightened in their turn by the approach of the hares, scuttled off and jumped into the river. "Truly," said one of the hares, "things are not so bad as they seem. There is always someone worse off than yourself."